I'm David Raab. I'm the founder and CEO of the Customer Data Platform Institute. The CDP Institute is dedicated to helping marketers and other people at companies do a better job of managing their customer data. So what's CDP all about? Well, CDP stands for Customer Data Platform. It's a kind of software that makes it easy for companies to assemble all their customer data in one place and now let any other system use that data, so it saves a lot of duplicate work by having each system develop its own data. The reason that we needed a new category for CDP was because other systems do manage customer data, but they manage it for different purposes. So your CRM manages it to manage your call center or your sales force. Your marketing automation system manages it mostly to send emails. Your data warehouse manages only kinds of structured data. So there was nothing that was really designed specifically for all data sources to then unify it, bring it into customer profiles, and then make that available to all the other systems. So it was actually a new thing. Well, there are any number of trends in the industry. It's really been around as a category successfully for about 3 years. It was named back in 2013, but it really took off in 2016. And what we see more recently now is as the category gets better known, we have more companies entering it. We have different kinds of systems that all fit the definition of CDP. So some only build the database, some have many other functions as well. We now see companies that are industry specialists. So particularly for travel or for financial services or a particular industry. We also see companies now that are focusing on different sizes of businesses. So they have clients that are small business or mid-sized business or enterprise. So there's a lot of variety in the space now. CDP is definitely relevant to e-commerce companies. That's probably about half of the industry is in retail, and most of those will be online retail or online plus offline retail. You have a lot of transactions in retail, you have a lot of data. Nowadays it comes in from different sources, so that's a very good application for the CDP to bring that all together and make it easily usable. Well, the business impact is fundamentally that you can do a better job of understanding who each customer is and then giving them the particular things that they need. So it's for personalization, it's for customer service, it's for just remembering who they are, so when they come back, you know what they bought and you can send them messages appropriate to that rather than just treating them as a new person every time they show up. Well, there's CDPs actually for all sorts of companies, all sizes of companies. It has originally been adopted primarily by large enterprises because they're the ones who have the most data and they're the ones who have the largest number of systems. And of course, a CDP only really makes sense if you have multiple systems where you have to pull the data together. But nowadays, of course, even mid-tier companies have many systems and even small businesses have many systems. And we begin, as I say, to see CDPs that are tailored to those different kinds of clients. Well, of course, we'd like to say there are no pitfalls because the CDP is just a button that you press. In reality, life is a little more complicated than that. So you certainly have to worry about where the data is going to come from and the quality of that data and the completeness of that data. That's probably the biggest problem that people run into. The other problem that they'll run into is maybe their systems that are either providing the data or using the data aren't actually designed for that, so they don't have application interfaces or extract functionality to make it easy to get the data in or to use the CDP data on the other end. Those are kind of the big problems. Of course, you always have to worry about organizational issues. People have to cooperate across departments, and not every company does that very easily. Actually, there are one or two. There's a company out of the Netherlands, Geneva actually, that does it. There's a standard happening. And there's one other one, I think Piwik is one. Just a few. It's a little unusual so far. A lot of the underlying software, however, is things like Hadoop and so on, which actually is open source. Well, we do worry about that a lot, of course. That's what the CDP industry has to worry about, is who's a CDP and who's not a CDP. So we actually have set up this set of criteria, very simple, 5, because that's how many fingers I have on my hand, to be take data from all sources, store all the detail of the data, don't lose anything, store the data persistently or permanently, organize it into customer profiles, and then make that data available to any other system. So there are other things that a CDP needs to do, but those are the 5 things that we look for to say, if you don't do all these things, you're not a true CDP. We're not seeing too much consolidation quite yet. We have seen a few acquisitions of larger companies like Informatica, for example, or Salesforce have bought CDPs to fold them into their systems. We've seen a few companies that have gone out of business. Actually, just in the last few months, we've lost one or two. But by and large, most of the vendors are still pretty well financed and doing pretty well. And a lot of the vendors who came into this space actually came in from other industries, from other businesses related, like, say, personalization or data management or predictive modeling. So they kind of had an existing business that would support them. So there's not a lot of starving startups that if they don't get 3 clients next week are suddenly going to shut their doors. What brought me to the e-commerce expo? Well, it's a very exciting expo, and a lot of people who have customer data, and that's our mission, is to help those people do a better job. So you go fishing where the fish are. I think if I had something I really wanted people to remember about CDP, it's that it really makes it much easier to bring together your customer data. It used to be that you had to do a custom data warehouse or a custom database, and that was a long and expensive and kind of risky project that might or might not deliver. Now you can go out and buy packaged software to do that. And the CDP is the only kind of packaged software that's specifically designed for what it does, to bring together all the data and to share all that data. There are other systems like DMPs and CRMs, and they're great systems, they're just built for a different purpose.